great as a natural anti-inflammatory. It can also just be a nice little mood booster in the sense of we have some really awesome CBD drinks that have some clean caffeine and some B vitamins in them. So those can also be really awesome as a before or after. We have some nice, really good soft gels too and oils. So we do have edibles and smokables, but soft gels, oils, teas, our magical mushroom protein, those are all really great things for athletes.
T-Bubba Sports Talk coming to you now.
Boom goes the dynamite. Stay tuned for T-Bubba Sports Talk.
Welcome to T-Bubba Sports Talk.
You need to be watching T-Bubba Sports Talk.
I'm ready to watch T-Bubba Sports Talk.
Stay tuned to T-Bubba Sports Talk. T-Bubba Sports Talk is coming to you now.
Courtesy in Lafayette, it's all about the customer experience.
We want every customer to be comfortable,
We want to be transparent.
so you have all the information to make the best decision.
These flags mean that everyone that walks through these doors is family.
The Courtesy experience is getting the things you need from people you know.
Come see us today at Courtesy Buick GMC on Johnson Street.
So what are you smoking, man? What do you got in front of you? I'm going to let Pops ask you that. What do you got?
Bocock Brothers, mild Honduras wrapper. When I first lit it, tasted got a little fruit on the foot of it. Not too aggressive, not too aggressive. This is actually my first time smoking this today, and it's great. There's that leather that you were talking about.
It lights up your palate.
Yeah. Definitely a good cigar.
From our humble beginnings in 1898, right here in England, Arkansas, hometown values were important 100 plus years ago. And although the building is a bit different, and there's a few more people in it, those same values drive us each and every day. Welcome home.
One of our, long-standing traditions here is that nobody sleeps hot. We're authorized dealers for Carrier and American Standard. We have more than one major line of equipment because we want our clients to have an option as far as what they put in. NOLAAC.com is our webpage. We have a lot of information about our company, about the employees of the company, and the services that we provide.
It's a Cajun tradition to drink into the wee hours of the night. And here at LSU, they do that in a party oasis known as Tigerland. That being said, there's one that towers above the rest.
It's called Fred's, and it has a captivating tagline. Fred's, we do the fucking.
On Top Sports, everything's better on top.
Hey guys, One Team One Podcast back. Episode 119. We have slightly, well, not as full as normal, but Tater Tot.
Let's go.
Jude is in the house. Been a long time. Jude, your Colt will be watching, I'm sure.
My Colt?
Yeah, there's like a Jude Colt.
I thought you meant Colt Colt, like my horse. I was like, how?
There will be Colts watching.
Okay. Do you have a horse? Do you have? Okay. And then Charlie, smooth voice Charlie.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh my God,
yes,
I'm wet.
I wait every week for that.
My panties are wet. So good show tonight. There's a couple things we wanted to talk about tonight. All right, how'd y'all spend Independence Day?
Well, the microphone isn't on or it's cutting out.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's okay. Go ahead.
How did I spend Independence Day? I had a couple of glizzies and and a burger.
Did you snap any necks like Joey Chestnut?
No, I did not. I did not stop what was it like for a farm?
It's a protester of some
like
sort.
but wasn't he?
It looked like Death Star. It was like he had a
Darth
Vader mask.
No, but like he was calling like a farm the Death Star because they were inhumane to animals. Which is like,
gotcha.
Well, guess what? They're not human. You could be inhumane to animals.
So hot dogs.
Hot dogs. I had a couple of hot dogs. I had some of Mom's hummus, which is really good.
Oh, hummus.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Good
What
stuff.
about you, Tate?
My mom's birthday is the 4th of July, so I celebrated my mother. It was pretty
Okay.
cool.
All right.
And pretty much chilled, hang out. Shout out to my Uncle Kevin. Great barbecue. Had some jambalaya. Tried to eat as much as possible. Celebrate the U.S. It was it was good.
Jambalaya.
Jambalaya.
Okay.
Solid.
And we had burgers.
Cool.
Wagyu burgers.
Wagyu, ooh, fancy.
I know. They were pretty good. So yeah, that was a little pool time. Charlie?
I was in Pensacola. I got
we saw the beach ball.
What about did they have Blue Angels fly by?
They did, but they were quiet as fuck, so I didn't see them.
Okay.
Silent.
All right. So best Independence Day foods. You say hot dogs because you're a glizzy glutton.
Yes. I had 2 hot dogs, so now that's all I'm eating.
Yeah. Did you chew them like?
Yeah, no, I dipped them in my water. So
they slide down your throat faster.
To quote
That's
Michael,
a pro move.
Michael Scott, it'll go down your gullet faster.
That's a pro move, Jude. What about you? Jambalaya, apparently.
I like jambalaya. That's my all-time favorite Cajun food. But I'm gonna say something a little off. Any white sorority girls, I have to apologize. The charcuterie board on the Snapchat used to annoy me because they'd always post and be like, "Oh, we're bougie and stuff." Had a charcuterie board, pretty fucking good.
Oh no, a good charcuterie
it's
is
nice cheese, meat. Maybe
the older you
there.
get,
Yeah,
the more you will appreciate a charcuterie and a good glass
America.
of wine. That's the 2 things that you're going to appreciate. Like
learning
pairing your wines with your salamis. Oh my god!
I just don't want to get to the point where I'm doing the whole, the smell of
Oh
this
no,
wine.
you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there.
I like making pizzas with charcuterie boards. I like having a cracker on the bottom.
Okay.
Cheese.
Oh, okay.
What cheese?
I don't know. One of the cheeses on the charcuterie.
Whatever is on there.
I don't.
Sure.
Yeah, I couldn't. I can tell you.
It's Kraft.
Yeah. No. Yeah, American cheese. What's the other one?
You're just making Lunchables.
Yeah, that's like
adult
what I do.
Lunchables.
What am I supposed to do? Like dip it in the Pinot Noir.
Well, you had hummus. I mean, I thought you would be a little bit more refined than this.
Yeah. That's kind of like the lone thing.
Okay.
You eat hummus with your what do you
chips?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Fair.
And then
mainly.
I like burgers, but I also like hot dogs, but no chili on. It's weird. It's too hot.
I can see
it
that.
was too fucking hot. You don't need hot chili on it. You just need like a hot dog with like some mustard or ketchup.
Solid.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Get out of the pool. Just eat a hot dog.
Okay.
Not 2 at a time. Not 2 at a time like an animal. But
American hero.
Yeah. Anyway, what about you, Charlie? Any specifics?
Just anything from the barbecue, to be honest.
Okay.
You know?
So
Good
are you
barbecue.
are we talking about like ribs or what?
No, just like
one rib.
Burgers. Maybe like throw on like a
hot sauce,
hot dogs, and then the
So you want hot dogs on a grill?
I mean, I like a grilled hot dog.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Cool. Okay. Well, speaking of food, we need to get right into this. We talked about this a few weeks ago, but I did a pizza list, and it got controversial because I had a pizza a little lower on the list than some people thought. And sure enough, the news this week is Fleur de Lis Pizza is going out of business
for the time being.
Well,
coming back strong.
I think I think that is a little bit of smoke, and I think that they're trying to say that I've seen restaurants do this. They're like, "Oh, we're going to close for remodeling." No, you're closed because you owe like this guy a shit ton of money. But like Fleur de Lis Pizza has been around for 70 years.
Something like that,
for them closing, it is a huge deal for Baton Rouge. But I wanted to express that I didn't think that their pizza was very good, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, and here we are. They're closing, and some people are saying that I closed down Fleur de Lis Pizza. Just saying. Some people are saying this. And y'all are very staunch defendants of Fleur de Lis.
Yeah.
Are you, Jude?
I never.
We never talked.
I never had this.
You never had Fleur de Lis pizza?
Well, you missed out. You missed out on a good one. It's hard to say goodbye to the ones we love.
Well, and what we're gonna do? I was asked to do this, and I'm going to do it, and I don't mind doing it because it is an institution that's been here for a long, long time. So there's something to say about a place that's been around for 70 years. But we're going to have a moment of silence for Fleur de Lis Pizza, probably just for a few seconds. But if everybody can can shut up for just a second. That includes you, Jude.
Sit there and think about fleur-de-lis pizza.
Please sit there, think about fleur-de-lis. He's pouring in a little bit for his cup right here. Fleur-de-lis pizza, we honor you. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Fuck. Okay, so there's our moment of silence for fleur-de-lis. We appreciate those guys. We wish your pizza was a little bit better to last a little longer. You know, here's the thing.
Did you have cheese? Did you have cheese pizza? Because that's my thing. If you,
I had a pepperoni pizza.
You need to have
It
all
has
around the
cheese
world.
on it.
It was all around the world. That was.
I was comparing them all with pepperoni.
Okay, fair.
But you only take cash or check, which is crazy that you're still fucking taking checks. You have an ATM inside, right? The place is disgusting inside. You just get it to everybody just gets it like to go, and he gets it, walks up to the window and grabs it or whatever. And it's like I'm sure that pizza was great in the 80s. But now things have changed. People have like really cool like pizza ovens, brick ovens, all kinds of stuff. They're doing all kinds of shit with these pizzas now. Like you got to evolve a little bit, and they never did.
See, I don't know. The way I took it as the
owners are dicks too.
They gave so little of a fuck about the surrounding atmosphere. They just painted it pink and just let it be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Star Hill Stunners in the chat. Best thing that could ever happen. Pizza was terrible, and the owners were pricks. Ha ha! Star Hill, my guy.
Look, okay, if the owners can be pricks, as long as the food is good, and see, I don't know. I like it. My thing is, I did tell you I need to try the other ones before we can completely say your ranking was bogus.
Mm-hmm.
It was my childhood favorite when I came here, and it was the best. And I think if you got all around the world, you might have been like, okay, I can kind of see
Well,
it.
I've had
You had
plenty of like pizza from there in my
okay,
lifetime.
I thought you just said you just had pepperoni. Okay.
Just recently. Now,
Okay,
like
fair.
I haven't
Okay.
had.
Okay.
I mean, it's probably been a couple of years since I had fleur-de-lis before that. But,
Okay.
Your taste buds change every couple of years.
This is also
Oh,
true.
fuck you.
And also, it might be nostalgia too. I'm not gonna lie; like it was a big part of me. Like when we're around family, so I kind of look at that and go like, "Oh, when we're
I
watching
think I
football
had.
games." So
What
it's
did I
kinda
have? Like
it's
I
a
had
nostalgic thing, but
so
we missed fleur-de-lis.
Jack was very upset about my ranking, and I think I had to put him up a little higher. But I think originally I had like 6 pizzas ahead of fleur-de-lis on the list, and I put fleur-de-lis on there because I knew like if I didn't have him on the top 10, like people were really gonna get fucking pissed. But anyway, fleur-de-lis, we honor you.
You'll be missed.
So all right, wanted to talk a little bit about conference realignment this week.
And we'll get to that after we talk about Brittany Griner, because that is the top.
Go ahead.
The top topic.
Okay,
of today.
Brittany Griner,
folks. If you saw it, we're calling it the Premier League of college football.
Yes.
We're not talking at all about college football. This is not a college football show. This is a Brittany Griner in Russian penitentiary.
I love the WNBA. Let's
This
go.
is look.
I didn't know any of this was going to happen.
Atlanta Dream.
This is a typical Jude
She
takeover.
averages 11 points a game, and that's why she demands $4,000 a year. And listen, like this, she's an American hero for taking that weed pen onto the plane.
That's the America I want to live in.
That's not my America.
Biden reached out to I think tried to talk to Brittany Griner today, right?
I actually have the audio of what he's. Hey, listen, Jack, you gotta let that big old lesbian out of the Russian prison. And then like he stumbled on his words and fell asleep with with 2 masks on.
Let's get back on track. Jude, stop doing that shit to me. We're talking about conference realignment, Jude. Cover Jude's face. So all right, Big 12 wants to take over the Pac-12. It sounds like, right? So there's 6 teams that I've seen in this. Charlie, you correct me if I'm wrong, but there's Arizona State, which I'm wearing my Pat Tillman, rest in peace, July 4th. Yes. Arizona State, Oregon, Washington,
Colorado,
not Stanford. There's one other.
Utah.
Utah. Yeah. So six teams out of the Pac-12 to move over to the Big 12 potentially, and that would give. You're saying that would give the Big 12 16 teams or 18 teams?
18
without,
teams. Because that's 6 plus the 12 they're going to have once Texas.
And then when Texas and Oklahoma, correct. When Texas and Oklahoma leave, then they'll be at 16. Yeah, so I think it's huge, and it all started with this UCLA USC move to the Big Ten. But I think everybody kind of knows this, but the end game here is one mega conference, right? Or like one mega league with probably 3 to 4 conferences a part of it.
Yep.
And I know there's a lot of different thoughts on that, and I've heard a lot of people say, they don't like it. They think college football is changing for the worse and things like that. What are y'all's thoughts immediately on this stuff?
Change is hard for anything. I mean, anytime anything's new's proposed, I mean, it's just hard. I would like it to just, if we're going to make it somewhat, smaller, I think at least 5 conferences, maybe 4. Like you're saying, I think that's fine. It just gets tough because it's like if we get down to 2, that was the other one I saw, would just be straight up 2. And
like a Big Ten and SEC,
just make
basically.
it the NFL College Edition.
Like an AFC, NFC.
Yeah, you will have to increase the playoffs if you're going to go that route.
I'm all for that.
I'm an LSU fan, so really this doesn't mean we're going to be competing pretty much for the next 3 decades. I think we're still going to be at the top regardless.
Sure.
So on that scale, I don't really care. But on talks about just watching college football, I love championship weekend. So that's the only thing that it kind of ruins because you don't get to watch the Pac-12 championship, the SEC championship, Mountain West championship.
I think, and I understand that. I think that what you'll have in its place, though, is the first round of the playoffs.
Okay, that could be
possibly.
Good too.
So, I mean, I'm thinking a 16-team playoff at that point. If you did like a big league like that, kind of like the NFL playoffs at that point, right?
Because if you don't expand it, it's going to end up. Because if you're stuck at 4, it's going to be the 2 teams that played for the conference championship on both sides,
right?
Yeah.
And then you just get a repeat.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
And I was always for a 16-team playoff. I've always been for a 16-team playoff. I think it makes the most sense. We're not basketball, so we don't need to do a 64-team playoff.
Sure.
But a 16-team playoff makes a lot of sense, and it allows the smaller guys who have a couple of losses to actually have a shot still. I don't know. I just always thought that was a good case. But if you had 64 total teams in that level. What is the realignment going to do to the bowl games? I think the bowl games. I think the bowl games are gone unless
I love bowl games.
You take bowl games and you make them a part of the playoffs.
You can.
So if you have 16-team playoffs, you're going to have what? What are we talking about?
8.
Is it 8 games? No, I think it's more than that, huh?
No, it'd be less because then you'd have buys.
They can still have bowl games. I mean, ones that don't matter if you don't make the playoffs. Just
I think you're like what 10 or 12 games at that point that you could use bowl games for that.
Yeah.
You have 6 New Year ones.
Well, I'm saying like for those 16 teams, they're going to have to play each other in those playoffs. You can use the bowl games for each one of those games as neutral sites if you wanted to do that.
You can still do the bowl games.
Problem is with lesser bowl games, though.
You could still have more bowl games. The people who don't make the playoffs, just the same situation.
You're still going to have other teams. So
yeah,
this is like one big league, and then you're going to have another.
Would it be like an NAIA thing for the tournament?
No, I think it's going to be like you're the
guess.
Premier League, and then you're going to have the NCAA, which is like Tulane, ULL, all these other teams that are in there that are going to be going to bowl games.
Yeah.
They can do that. But yeah, I think a lot of that stuff is all that tradition is kind of the way of the past.
Yeah.
Now
change is tough, and it's also I think what's killing everyone. I don't think this is a wrong way because it's just you can't, like you said. I think last week you opened Pandora's box. There's no returning, so it's like change is going to happen. It's just so much change so quickly that also the SEC it just means more mantra might have to go because. If you have 8 more teams added to the conference or whatever, it can't mean more to everybody. It's gotta
the SEC. It means just as much as it does to the other guys.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's gonna change. So.
And I think before we even got on the podcast, Charlie, you were talking about like Notre Dame as being a one of these key teams that you don't know where they're going to go yet, and where they want to land, right? Like
because of other sports as well.
So we talked about this, and I think that this is about football. Like,
Right.
I don't think they're going to use the same model for other other sports. So I think like it's kind of like I think Notre Dame. Well, I think you're right. If they wanted to join a conference now, it would be for all the sports, not just that. Right?
They have to though, because they can't be left alone.
I
when
think
this-
they have to
already
too.
They already compete in the other ones.
They compete in the ACC. They have a deal with them, but they're not in the ACC.
And the ACC is useless in football now.
I agree. I think I'm looking at the ACC as like, what are you going to do now?
Because
Like,
Clemson's done. They're reigned because the only reason they were ever getting in was because they had such an easy way to get in. And now it's like, I mean, I guess they could still make their way in.
I
but
think
it's tough.
NIL. I think NIL is going to fuck.
Oh,
Dabo
Clemson's
Swinney.
done. Yeah, he's done.
He's not going to be the same recruiter as he was before because this has changed everything with
Sure.
NIL.
Sure.
I think you're going to see that a lot with a lot of schools. I think Miami's going to get back into the equation.
The U is back.
I really do. I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, the funniest joke on the world.
You want me to write that down on a?
Yeah, don't-
we'll tape that
I
up.
got a napkin.
Everyone who'd watched just passed away because they heard the funniest joke in the world. Monty Python reference.
Well, I mean, why not? Why not? Why don't you think Miami would recruit well?
Because their head coach is another version of Les. I think they'll recruit well, but
You just don't think they're going to be good because they're coach.
Mario
I
Cristobal?
don't think. Yeah, he is Les. He's an offensive line coach who misused Justin Herbert when he was at Oregon. Yeah, they won a Rose Bowl.
I mean, he was like the big recruiter for Alabama whenever they were winning national championships.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
The offensive line coach too.
Now throw in the money you have at Miami and NIL.
It's the money that you're going to be able to bring in.
No, I
Shooting
never
percentage.
said they're not going to recruit. They are going to recruit.
You just don't think they're going to do well.
I
with
don't
their
think
recruits.
they're going to like.
Return
Okay.
to glory.
I mean, I saw like Charlie Strong's their linebackers coach.
Love
Like,
Charlie Strong.
they have a really good staff.
When I
Like
was-
it's not
yeah.
like it's not just him. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to write. I'll write it on my sticky note.
Yeah,
That'll be a hot take
put
that
her
I
on the
put.
wall.
I'm not saying they're going to win the national championship, but I think they're going to be.
Not as bad as they
A bowl
have
game
been.
team.
Yeah,
No, I think they'll be like a top 10 team.
They'll not be 7-5 every year. I think is what he's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Trying
fine.
to get at.
So all right, are y'all upset about this? All the change?
Again,
Personally.
it's like the pizza place thing. You know, a mature version of me wants to say like no, or like it's just part of getting old. Things change, and like when I was a kid, this is kind of like it was the SEC, it was the Big
Mhm.
12, and I don't know. I'm probably gonna end up liking it. I'm gonna say it sucks now. I don't really like it now, but the thing is, in like 3 years, it could end up being the
So-
coolest thing ever.
The SEC is Roca.
Yeah.
The Pac-12 is Fleur de Lis in this equation.
I haven't had Roca. Well, we'll have this argument in a later.
Well,
date.
you've seen SEC football, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Okay. All right. I'll
Um,
stay silent.
So, Jude, what do you think?
It shows like how the Power Five should have broken away when they much
Yeah,
earlier
that's fair.
because then you don't have winners and losers like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's disappointing, but it's all for
Well,
the
my questions are going to be okay. Who, like, at the end of the day, who is the last teams going in?
Do we want to go down the?
Yes, because I'm like, all right,
Rabbit hole.
seriously, is Vanderbilt going into this mega league? Because that's stupid.
Can you kick them? But see, this is where my thing is. Can you 'cause
Relegation, like Jude said.
Exactly.
relegation-
I want relegation.
I do not like.
But the
that.
money change, isn't it like the difference between Pac-12 and SEC like 30 and like 80 million a year? So
Yes.
like
More than
if Vandy
that.
got kicked from that, wouldn't there be some I'm talking about on the business side, not even on the sports side. Like
Like
how
they
does
would
that
be,
operate?
they would have to recoup it somehow,
Yeah,
or
because they get
they would
relegated.
sue us or sue the SEC, or
If they get relegated, they just make nothing.
They're smart enough to do it.
I mean, if you get relegated, yeah, you're in Conference USA all of a sudden.
Nice.
And
Okay.
yeah,
Shout out you,
it's Jude. You don't want relegation?
No,
That'd
I
be
don't
Why?
want
hysterical.
relegation.
Alabama
Why?
gets
Because
has one
our-
bad year done.
Our
The
forefathers,
dynasty over.
Our forefathers fought too hard to adopt some British trope.
Yeah. I'm from Kazakhstan.
Okay, so
Either
this is like a
you're
big.
here,
This is like a.
either-
This is
either
like a
you're-
July 4th
Yeah.
message you're trying to send.
Also, you would all get mad because one year LSU would have just a bad luck of the draw on the schedule, a bunch of injuries, and they would get relegated.
No.
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 This
No.
is-
We've
this
had
is a
horrible
flaw.
years.
Relegation
This is a flaw.
would probably be like a.
Vanderbilt.
No, it'd be like a 2-10 season.
Well, no, that's not how
Vanderbilt have,
relegation
like-
works. Is it's just it doesn't matter what your record is. If you're in the bottom three, you're you're gone.
Yeah, that's
in
true.
the Premier League.
I
But it's
know,
not like
but I'm
a
saying that's what it would
threshold.
be. It would be like
the
like you're
aggressive
1-11, 2-10. It's not like you're a 6-6 on could be relegated. Like that's just not. You would have to be like really, really, really bad.
Vanderbilt, yeah. You have to be.
You'd be Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Get Vanderbilt out of
LSU
there.
will never be that bad.
Like
if it was that bad,
Central
LSU
Florida.
would
Central
go
Florida is a great example. Central Florida used to suck. Okay, like when I was in school and all that, like they're not even around very long, but like they sucked. All of a sudden they got Scott Frost in. They started winning, and now they're on this little high, and they got Gus Malzahn in there. And guess what they're about to do? They're going to go tanking down. Do they deserve to be in this mega league?
No.
I don't know. I say yes.
They're
'cause the way
playing
they-
well enough.
Yeah, but if they say they tank again and they're playing like shit like they used to, I mean they went 0-12 under Lou Holtz. Like they could do the same thing again.
I don't know. Because if it's just football, then maybe. But if it's UCF has some
Just football.
Okay.
Just football we're talking about.
maybe.
So I think
say
the big
maybe.
league
I
would
can't
just be
decide on that.
football and
Maybe.
like all the other sports will still be like intact. But I think football is like such a large dollar that they're just going to break away from the NCAA.
Does Oklahoma and Texas still come to SEC baseball too with this whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't null and void.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's in place before any of this happens. So,
so
I mean,
grandfathered.
yeah,
Okay,
and
okay.
I'm hell, the mega league might not happen until like 2030 or something like that. But like,
the amount of money they'd make in a 60, because the off chance, and again, we see it in March Madness every year. If you had, for some fucked up reason, I can't even think of, a Houston beating Alabama, which I don't imagine that would ever happen, but I'm just saying moments like that I think would kind of turn the tide of this conversation. Are we okay with change? I think one upset win and then we're like, okay, we want to see stuff like this. I mean, that's why we love March Madness. So
yeah, and in this equation, Houston would probably still be in that upper level.
yeah, they've been pretty good. Questions like UAB, they've had a good, and I know this sounds crazy, but
their coach just resigned.
He did resign, but they have had like those fairly decent seasons. But it's like when you put them in a super league, they're I mean, I don't think they're going to be anywhere near.
ULL be the same thing.
Yeah, true.
They do great in their conference, but they would never last in like a big conference.
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be some teams at the bottom level of that I would love to see switched out. If you had a team, say, let's see, let me give a good example of a team that maybe would be on the lower level.
It'd give
Lower
Vanderbilt
level
a
of
chance
what?
to be good again, though. If they get relegated, they start winning and then come back up.
Well, think about this. Like, okay, say it's West Virginia and Vanderbilt, last game of the season. The loser gets relegated.
That'd be awesome.
You're going to fucking watch that game.
Universities would hate this though, because don't they get a lot of funding through this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do Premier League soccer teams.
That's the only reason I don't think it would happen. But if we're doing this hypothetical, that would be electric. We would all be tuning in.
Absolutely.
To some horrible football.
It'd fuck with NIL too, because
That's true. Fair.
It dictate how much money the schools would make and how much money the
Absolutely.
losers would
Sure.
make from the schools.
But what prospect's going to go to a delegated team unless they
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless they're, I mean, if they're a lower tier recruit, I mean, those guys at like Tulane's not getting
that's true.
3
Not
stars.
getting anybody,
You know what I mean? But okay, so let's say Tulane. Tulane, all of a sudden, they get a great coach in there, and all of a sudden they're like killing it on like
SEC
the lower
champs,
level.
1959.
They're like undefeated 3 years in a row, and they're like a powerhouse at that lower North Dakota State.
Isn't that what FCS was though? Basically,
It is.
Okay.
But like
So what
then
FCS
then
do?
those teams sometimes, like James Madison, all of a sudden they were really good. They come up to the
Oh, they
Division
can be.
One.
Okay, I like that then.
And they apply for it. It'd be the same kind of thing where you can come up, but then somebody lower, like a Vanderbilt that's terrible all the time, goes down.
You would need
You
like
got to replace them.
you need a solid decade to get people comfortable with this. That could work. You need a solid
You
decade.
need
though.
to do 1-1, 2-2, and then build up to 3-3.
Yes.
Because it
People would be
easier
shocked.
Especially in the South. Like imagine. Just,
How would you pick the 3 that get moved up if they have their own national championship?
3 best.
A poll, I guess.
Yeah,
A poll, yeah.
If you
but
make
it has
it
to be
to the
one poll. It can't be like
championship
5 polls. I hate.
I mean,
this
how many
3
how many
poll
undefeated teams are you going to have like in the lower level?
Maybe 2, maybe.
if you make the
See, here's my argument with
FCSD.
so
There's a middle one.
You know, when you did like the 14 playoff, this is why I always wanted a 16-team playoff. 14 playoff, you're always going to fight about, or the
5,
2-team, you're always going to fight about who's the second, and who's the third, and who's the fifth, and who's the whatever. 16-team, you're not going to really have a big enough argument for who the 16th and the 17th team is. Nobody really gives a fuck at the end of the day. It's kind of like the NCAA basketball tournament. Nobody gives a shit about who's
Same with baseball.
who the last team in is. They cared for that 1 second. Dick Vitale starts yelling about it, and then all of a sudden, like they don't have. There's no argument the next day. Like it's like over with. That's the end of the argument. You start spreading it out like that, and like give these guys a little bit more parity for the tournament, and then you're gonna love it.
Does SEC get special treatment? Not special treatment.
Fucking right.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
I think like conference champions.
Like Alabama loses.
I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know how they would set it up.
Because if Alabama loses one, they lose the SEC championship. They've seen in the past they've still moved on to the playoffs.
Well, in this way, it's going to be way more. But there'll be way more. It'll be a lot harder to like go undefeated in this. Like you'd be playing each other.
Sure, but with the SEC champ, like my thing is like, would people try in the SEC championship knowing no matter what happens, they're going to go to the playoffs? You get what I'm saying?
You're playing for seeding, I guess.
Or would they play an SEC championship?
Yeah.
That would be the question too. Is like, are they? Is it really the SEC at that point, or is it another conference altogether? And do they even have a championship game? There's a lot of questions, but like, I think this is absolutely where they're headed.
They just got to make sure everyone makes money because, like, for instance, I'm from Atlanta. The SEC championship raked in so much money. They have to like substitute that somehow because you just tell people whose jobs are like, hey, I'm the head of committee for the SEC championship. You don't have a job anymore. You have to.
But you're going to have playoff games to kind of make up for all that.
No, make up money. But there's so many people like losing.
He's talking
there's going to be a lot of backlash. Is my point.
Like people who work for the conference to put on the SEC championship. He's worried about union busting.
Indeed.
Who cares?
Yes. I don't know. I'm a man of the people.
We're coming for you, Starbucks in Buffalo. A bunch of blue-haired losers.
Well, I just wanted to talk about that. There's a lot of like unknowns, and I think, but it's okay. I'm actually on board with this. I'm the old guy. I should be the one bitching and complaining.
Sure.
But like, I was raised with like, okay, we talked about it, Big 8, and you had the Southwestern Conference. And whenever they merged into the Big 12, I was like, fuck this. This is bullshit. Like, what are they doing? Like, I loved Big 8 football, and I loved the Southwestern Conference, Texas A&M. And when that changed, it fucked everything up. But it was like, I got over it. Like, it's actually all going to be for the better.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people like bowl games. Like, you'll be fine when you have a 16-team playoff.
The Cheez-It
like you'll
Bowl,
be
though.
fucking all right.
The
you're not
Cheez-It Bowl, though.
Yeah,
I want to see two shitty teams.
I don't really
playing
care
near
about
Bad
Christmas.
Boy Mowers Independence.
Dude, I live
Hell,
for that.
even
the Gasparilla Bowl. I
even
live
the
for that
Peach
shit.
Bowl, even the Peach Bowl, like LSU Miami in 2005. You know, even the Peach Bowl, like it's the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like you'll be in the playoffs.
Now, I will say we need to get rid of the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl. I do not want the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl.
We need to play the Barstool Bowl. The Barstool
That would've been
Arizona
electric.
Bowl
Didn't
needs
they
to happen.
It would have changed the whole
'cause
landscape
A&M
of broadcasting, how they do bowl games.
Who
everything.
opted out? Somebody opted out.
A&M opted out because they're quitters, is what.
No,
they
that
are.
was it was
not of
Boise
the
State.
not of the Barstool Bowl.
Oh,
A&M
okay, okay.
did opt out of their bowl game last year.
Okay, yeah, they did.
Was it
was
Central
Boise-
Michigan?
it was Boise State
Central
and
Michigan
Central
and Boise
And
State.
Central Michigan
yeah.
opted out, played in the Yankees related.
I don't remember.
bowl?
Pinstripe Bowl?
Pinstripe
Yeah, the
Bowl.
Pinstripe Bowl.
Not
because
Yankees
they got a
related,
different
just call it
bid.
the Pinstripe.
It is kind of related. They call it the Pinstripe Bowl for all.
They were going to get paid more for it, so they went there.
Okay, so I thought that was something I really wanted to talk about that a little bit because of all the news happening, and I think we're still waiting on Oregon and Washington really to make their decision. I think that I saw something today about like, okay, the guy who broke the news for UCLA and USC tweeted this today about they're still considering like either staying with the Pac-12, moving to the Big 12, or moving to the Big 10. Like they're the ones like hanging out there. But I think it's Big 12. I think that's where they're going to go, and then the Pac-12 is just going to have to like figure it out.
I wondered if the
Stanford. We don't know what's going to happen to Stanford yet.
If the
Stanford would be a Big 10 fit.
I would think they would be.
Well,
Perfect fit.
I would, if you ask me what Stanford is going to do, I would say they're going to scrap the athletic department, just like focus on.
They tried to scrap
crapping
wrestling.
out.
No, but
good minds.
Do you know they like lead the country in like national championships every year? Like there's so many sports that they're involved in.
Yeah,
football, no.
nonprofit championships.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like they're winning water polo championships every year. But like, football is different, but they're a huge academic school. They would qualify for the Big Ten, all that.
I'm here for that.
One team, one podcast, bowl and memorial. I love that.
I can broadcast.
I love
you got
that.
it over sideline reporter.
Um,
Judas sideline reporter. That would be.
I played there when
Throw
I
it down to
was in
Jude.
Pee Wee. I was Pee Wee football.
I would
bowl
only
game
be
back
the
in-
sideline reporter
be
if you gave me the booger mobile.
Just say what. Yeah.
Oh,
Say Jude. Say
Jude in
whatever
the
he
booger
wants.
mobile would be great.
Now this is a guy who's a Popeye's biscuit away from being a tight end.
My fingers
Love
like
that, man.
I'm like this is a
So-
guy.
so bad at his job.
This is a guy. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit. I wrote a blog this week. Did y'all read it at all?
I
You
saw
get a
it, the
chance?
title.
I read it.
You
I
read?
I
Thank
did
you,
not.
Charlie. Thank you, Charlie.
I did
Fuck
not.
you guys.
I saw it. I saw the title cover.
Charlie read it.
I
Y'all
want to
didn't-
judge the book by the title.
Y'all didn't read it. Charlie read it.
Very convoluted.
Oh, okay. All right. So I want to know who's going to be the quarterback, and I wrote my thoughts. Do you want me to tell you my thoughts, or you all want to say what y'all's thoughts are first?
You go.
You go first.
Okay, my thoughts are, they don't want Miles Brennan to transfer. They want to keep the quarterback room intact. Opposite of last year. Last year, all hell broke loose. Brennan got hurt. TJ Finley transferred out, and you left with two quarterbacks. So this year, they want to keep all the guys in. They are going to start Miles Brennan in the first game. They're not even going to announce the starter. They're going to wait all the way up till the week of. Miles Brennan will start the first game. Jaden Daniels will play almost every game this year just because of his running ability, and they're going to have packages for him. Correct. But eventually, and it might even be the first game, second game, Garrett Nussmeier is going to start coming in, and he's gradually going to take over the job.
I can see that. I want Miles Brennan if he played. I want the Miles Brennan.
You want Miles Brennan, or you think that's what's going to happen? That's what I want to know.
I think
not like a loyalty,
not a loyalty
where your loyalty lies.
I want Miles Brennan, but at the same time, I think you're right. I think he's going to start. Now the question is, if Miles Brennan starts playing like he used to, I think you just stick with Miles Brennan. Because having this 2 quarterback system, I've seen it work very few times. It can, but I would rather stick with one dude and have 1 or 2 plays for Daniels, but not like just not like half and half. Like not like a Jarrett was it Jarrett Lee and what was the other one?
Jordan Jefferson.
Jordan Jefferson. When they did that, I hated watching it. I need one quarterback and then we have
You hated national championship appearances?
I mean, Jordan Jefferson didn't get past the 50-yard line, and yes, I hate championship appearances, and that's yes. I couldn't watch Jordan Jefferson play football; it was horrible. But
we wouldn't have won the game of the century without Jordan Jefferson. So give you that.
Okay, but it was
Jarrett Lee was scared shitless of that game.
Regardless of the thing, I think Brennan. I want him to start. I think he's going to start if he plays well. I think he plays all the way through. I wouldn't be shocked if he plays badly. That fans want, Daniels. But I think one of them are going to transfer. I don't think there's a way that you don't. Like, nothing. Like, if they say, for instance, they put Daniels in, or like they have Brennan, Daniels comes in, right? I think if Brennan stays another year, what advantage does Nussmeier have to stay there? Like what?
Whoa. So you're saying if Brennan plays this year?
So like say for instance Brennan starts and then they put in Daniels, right?
Right.
And then Brennan for some reason plays another year because I don't
know.
know. Can he
This
play
is
another?
last year.
So he can't. But if for instance if he
this
transfers,
is his last year.
Okay, so he can play another. Okay.
He learned.
Then never mind. They could keep everybody then on that case. I thought for some reason Brennan could stay another year.
and Nussmeier redshirted last year.
Okay.
So he did play, but he redshirted.
Sure.
And so he is technically a redshirt freshman this year.
Okay. Okay.
So, in my thoughts are, Nussmeier wants to compete with Walker Howard for the job next year,
which he will lose.
Correct. I agree.
Okay.
I agree with this. Walker Howard is your quarterback of the future, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
But I think what the coaching staff wants to do is keep the room intact. Don't be light on quarterbacks. There's no reason to play Walker Howard this year.
No, not at all. No.
At all.
If you played him a couple of games just in spot duty, that's fine. If you can redshirt him, that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
But you don't really need to play him. Let him sit. But you would have Miles Brennan. You would have Jaden Daniels, both who have a lot of experience, and you have Garrett Nussmeier, who's actually played a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think Nussmeier and Daniels are the type of quarterbacks that Denbrock is going to want more than a guy like Miles Brennan because he's got a little bit more wheels.
That's fair.
Jude. Your thoughts. Jude thoughts.
Jude thoughts. Jude says.
I want
Jude says.
Miles Brennan to start.
You want him to start.
Yes.
Because you love him and you honor him.
Yes.
What do you think will happen?
I think he's going to start.
Okay.
And I'll
is it
tell
because
you-
your heart tells you this?
Sure. But
Okay.
it's also because in his see, here's what happened, folks. What's the name? Garrett Dumpster Fire. He threw this cool pass to Jack Besh in the
Jack
end
Besh
zone.
caught it out of the heavens.
In the rest of the game, he went 50% through 2 back-breaking interceptions. So, like,
Arkansas game.
yeah,
mind
the
you.
Arkansas
Yes.
game. So, like, people are like,
cold,
he's
too.
just so good, and look at how good he is in the spring game. It's like, well, what's Phillip Rivers' brother was good in the spring game.
Austin Rivers. I was making a joke about
No,
that.
it
Steven
wasn't
Rivers.
Austin, it was Steven.
Steven Rivers.
Steven was 6'7". Austin
is
was
Doc's son.
the 10th,
That's right. That's
10th
right.
pick for the New Orleans Hornets.
I think you're right.
Well, so here's something I see with Garrett Nussmeier that I don't see with Miles Brennan, and I've heard this before too, kind of back channels, is guys gravitate towards Garrett Nussmeier, and guys in the locker room don't necessarily do that with Miles Brennan.
Well, it's because he's their age. Miles is fucking like 26
Yeah, he's
now.
old now.
I think it's more than that. I'm just saying. I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. He's Mr. Hunter fisherman guy. Doesn't relate to the guys as much as a guy like Garrett Nussmeier would.
I can see that.
Just saying.
Yeah.
As a fan, I want Brennan. I think he will start, but if he's still bad, I want to see Daniels.
Well, and that's why I'm saying is like people are asking like who's going to win the job, and it's going to be a little bit more confusing. Like I think Brennan will start the first game, but that doesn't mean he won the job.
Yeah,
and I think it's a little bit more, like you said, convoluted. What do you think, Charlie?
Here's my sticker hot take.
Okay. Oh, I like it.
It's going to be between Miles and Garrett for the first half of the year, and then Garrett and Jaden the back half. Miles is going to get hurt somewhere between games 1 and 6.
In a few words, erase everything on the whiteboard, and we'll just put it on the whiteboard.
Yes, we could do that. Whiteboard.
Whiteboard summer. Is it a white boy summer?
I got it. Yeah, I like that.
Nice.
So you're basically saying what I've said, except you saying that he's going to get hurt.
He's going to, one of either Garrett or Miles is going to get hurt playing. I know that because Garrett runs too much. He's going to take a fucking shot on the sideline.
And Miles is a damn tree
Miles
in the back.
is going to get murdered in the backfield by a younger lineman. Like, it's,
or white, we don't discriminate.
A younger lineman.
You'd have a younger lineman's going to fuck up and get Miles killed, and that's how he's going to get
Oh, okay. A younger LSU lineman.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I think that's me, maybe.
Or Garrett's going to roll out, and he's going to fuck up and take a hit on the sideline, and he's going to be out, just seeing the fucking sky.
Jesus.
Oh, wow. You thought about this
He's
a lot.
going to do a Garrett Schrader helicopter.
Yeah, like...
Did you have a dream about this?
No, just the way he runs, I see it.
Okay.
Like, I could see it. Just plain as day.
We don't hope this to happen, but
he's got he does have a slide mentality too.
Yeah.
Who?
Like he's got like a
what's a baseball
Nussmeier?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's kind of like Burrow.
Burrow didn't know how to slide.
Burrow could throw it really far.
Here's a word for Nussmeier, and Jack's not here, or he would like puke his brains out. No,
that was my favorite.
He's got swagger.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
A lot of swagger.
I remember
that's just overconfidence. He doesn't see the field though. I mean, dude, both of those picks in the Arkansas game.
I mean, he's young. He's young. Like it's his freshman year. He's young.
Sorry, folks. He's 7 months older.
He's young. I don't know. I think that he's really young. Like I don't know. I've seen a lot of Brennan. He
hasn't been bad. If he comes back the same way he was, I like Brennan. He was doing good that 1 year before he got hurt.
In 2020?
Yeah. Was it? Did he get hurt around the Missouri game?
He got hurt in the Missouri game. Yeah. I've seen it.
Successor to Burrow. Who knows?
We'll see. I think go read my blog, oneteam1podcast.com.
Check it out.
Give us your thoughts. Send us something on Twitter. We would love to hear about it. All right, so we have the Fredit post of the week.
Okay. This has become a staple
Sponsored
here.
by Fred's. We appreciate Fred's for all they do for us. Going to be the sponsor for tailgate season as well. So we're going to have our tailgate videos coming out. But all right, so you're granted one wish, and you can solve one cold case mystery. What mystery would you want to solve?
Dude.
DB Cooper, maybe.
Okay, so explain it because I know it, but just explain for the audience.
I forget where the plane was going. It was somewhere on the West Coast, and it was I think it was a smaller commercial flight, and there's a gentleman with slick back hair, glasses, and he pressed the button to get the flight attendant and passed her note saying, "I have a bomb on this, and I need you to land this plane somewhere. Get me thousands of dollars in a briefcase and in a parachute."
Okay.
They did that. I think they got everyone off the plane. He then asked to go back in the air, and they did, and he jumped off, and no one knows what happened to him.
He's gone forever.
Yeah, and his name is not DB Cooper. That's just the the alias he used.
Gotcha.
And so no one knows who he is.
And you want to know who he is.
What was his motive?
What happened to him in the future?
Yeah, because I don't think it was I think it was like $50,000 maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, it was very weird. I mean, he got dressed up to do it.
Right.
Back then, if you went on a plane.
I've seen the Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah. That would be one I would want.
Edition. All right. Tate?
There was a good movie about that. I don't know if it was like a nonfiction, but they mentioned that. You say yours. I'm gonna look up mine real quick. I don't know. Off the top of my head.
Mine is the JFK assassination.
It's a solid answer.
It's a great one.
Well,
I've been
I can tell
to
you the FBI did it.
Oh, of course.
CIA.
Okay,
so
so
three letters.
I've been to the Grassy Knoll. I've seen it, and I've seen the book depository, and it's there's no way that it wasn't Ellie's stepping all over the mic. Ellie, come on now. There's no way that there was only one shooter. No way.
Yeah,
and I've seen the movie JFK. I've seen all the documentaries.
Jack Ruby and the boys.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way. Yeah, why is Jack Ruby getting involved in shooting the assassin? Come on. So I want to know what happened. I want to know how many shooters there were. Was it Russia? Was it the CIA? Who was involved in this conspiracy?
Yeah, well, the thing about Lee Oswald is he was denied Russian or Soviet citizenship. So
yes.
Maybe they were like, we're going to say you didn't.
We're going to set him up.
Yeah, and then they made him a sleeper agent.
Oh, I like it.
I
like it.
I just thought of that.
I like it. That's good. I like it though. Go ahead.
I don't really have like a set one. I was thinking DB Cooper, but my thing that I really I'm a big fan of the Uncharted games, and that's all. It's a fictional video game, but anything by Sir Francis Drake, just Finding Gold. It's just an awesome video game. Just anything, because I know there's a lot of stuff still missing from his voyages and stuff that I think would be kind of cool because I like the video game, but nothing too interesting. If you don't know it, it's
I don't know
guy. Sir Francis Drake's a very interesting dude.
Okay.
Historically, but I can't really describe it because the video game kind of fictionalizes people finding this stuff, but it's not like real stuff. So he was a real person. They put him in a fictional video game, so it's kind of hard to explain all of it. But look him up. It's a really
great
cool time.
pick, actually.
It's like Parvis Magna.
Okay, Charlie, what you got?
Holy Grail.
Wait.
Oh.
The Holy Grail, like from Jesus?
Yes.
Okay, so
controversial, but
all right,
accurate, fair call.
Because if the Knights Templar actually had it, like where the fuck is it?
Okay,
it's in well, if people could hear me, it's in the Holy Land. It's in the Holy Land.
Isn't that argued where the Holy Land is? I'm not super.
It's Palestine, around that area.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that is the Holy Land.
I don't know. I just know it's controversial. That's where it is.
Yes, like today's geography of.
But you still don't know.
Who belongs
You don't
to
know
where.
exactly where it is.
No.
Correct.
nobody knows if it's actually been found or where it is.
Except for Indiana Jones.
And you can't
And
really carbon
Be a
date
wild
anything
crossing.
like that.
He chose wisely.
he chose the cup of carpenter, which
And
means
it's like you
a
look
rock
at
to
it
the
and
head.
like
It's an all-time.
there's no way any like sort of chalice like that would survive, so it'd have to be replaced.
Okay.
And so like is it the true Holy Grail then?
How many museums are like that, you think? I've been to a lot of cool museums throughout my time where they could just easily replace it. And I'd be like, oh, because you just believe
You just
it.
don't even know that, like
Like the Mona Lisa, I saw that, but like I wouldn't know the difference. I'm assuming there's someone who's like is an expert at this and be like,
That's
no,
a
that's the real
big thing
thing.
in art though, is like
Yeah.
almost like I think somebody said like 80% of the stuff you see in museums is just forgeries that get sold to the museums so that it could be in private collections.
there's a documentary about a guy
Yeah.
who was just doing forgeries all the time, and he was selling them like crazy. Did you see the lady that threw the what was she
it was
paint?
like a-
it was paint
It was like
on
I thought it was like a pie.
it was something on the Mona
That's
Lisa.
a glass. That box is in like a glass box. And it
Oh,
comes
I thought
with-
it was like
yeah.
on the real.
No. There's
No,
So,
they have
yeah, they
protection.
have-
Okay.
That thing
Like
travels.
3-inch glass, probably not 3 inches, but very thick, bulletproof glass in front of the Mona Lisa.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a dude dressed up as a girl, if I remember correctly.
Was it?
Yeah, because they were trying to like sneak in and then they threw something on it.
Well, we don't need to assume genders anymore.
No, yeah, that's my
It was,
fault.
my bad. They them.
Shit. But no, it was a dude dressed up. But you know what? My bad. Anyway, what I do want to say is though, I saw a Da Vinci, and there are some paintings I have seen where you can tell that's just really fucking old. But then
Right.
at the same time, we see some of these documentaries, and you see that there's just people that know how to age things. Like there's a lot of old cards. That's kind of the argument with the whole baseball cards and basketball cards thing is they can like grade it whatever. So if they can
Mhm.
just if you get it, if you know someone, you can get like a PSA 10, which is like that. Like this is the best of the best type thing, but it's just a forgery. And
Right.
It's just money changing hands. That's what I think.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. All right, I wanted to talk a little Zion in a second, but
Sure.
I know you wanted to talk a little bit about Tampa. You're from Tampa, so
Yeah.
Tampa baseball. What do they have, a documentary coming out?
Yeah. So that's the one thing I wanted to shout out real quick. I think it's coming out in March. I found out about it today.
All right, you showed me the clip of it,
It's really cool.
and I know about Tampa baseball, where it's
Yeah.
University of Tampa, right?
Yeah.
So they're
Historically, they're good.
huge baseball school. What level are we talking?
They're Division II. They've won 8 national championships. I was fortunate enough to be a broadcaster for them for the last 2.5 years.
Mhm.
And this year they had some film crews from the NCAA. I think LG is doing it. They have a new TV coming out. It's the LG
Right.
series. It's called The Rivalries. You can get it on LG NCAA Channel 100. I think it'll be like March 20th, 24th of the next upcoming year.
Who's the rivalry that they're
Florida
talking about?
Southern. It's
Florida Southern. Okay.
Okay. Florida Southern,
And
Tampa.
Tampa.
It's historically had a lot of really good baseball players come through it. Not many people obviously know about it because it's Division II level, but
Yeah,
it's
right.
They went around to D1, D2, D3, and just said, "What's the best rivalry?" And they picked us.
Well, I'm sure
It's
you
really cool.
talk to a lot of LSU baseball players. They're going to know what the University of Tampa is.
They won
I'm sure they'll know.
36-5 when I was traveling here. They won 36-5 in a
Conference championship game.
in a
Right,
regional
right.
game. So like they're nonstop. They're good every year. They don't. I mean, they've had Tino Martinez was there. I could bore y'all for days on Division II stuff.
I
but-
just got tweeted. I texted a picture of Jack Ruby, by the way. So while we're talking,
One fun fact about Tampa, and the only thing I would bring up, and I know it's boring, is the old Cubs manager and Tony La Russa. They're played for Tampa. One graduated. It was Lou Piniella and Tony La Russa both went to Tampa. At the
wow.
same time,
Okay.
on the same baseball
So
team.
big managerial
Yeah, had a lot of
hierarchy.
players. Yeah. Time.
Okay.
Shout
So
out.
did we see the Zion press conference today?
I did not
I
see
saw the picture of him, and
Yeah.
he's just like he looks like the cat that ate the canary because he's like
Yeah, he's very happy.
He's excited.
Extremely happy.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to eat all he wants. A lot of Popeyes come in his future. But he was very. He said a few things about the media with in regards to not asking him if he was happy about being in New Orleans, and like apparently people were going after his family, and like people were saying stuff to his family
Sure.
about why don't y'all like it here, things like that. And he had some things to say about it, but it's very Johnny come lately in my opinion, because all of a sudden he's got a huge contract
Yeah,
that
you
he
have
just
to say it,
signed,
yeah.
and yeah, of course he loves New Orleans now.
I think he's.
But I think he did. It was
Yeah.
just like You could have came
The
out and
money,
said this
the
a long
money
time
would
ago.
have been nice.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
I don't know what your thoughts on Zion prior to this conversation. Like, I don't know if you were pro Zion. I know he hasn't played a lot for us. My grandfather was saying that, like, it's like Anthony Davis, the same thing. It's like you can be the best in the league, but if you're not on the court, it really doesn't help us. I think if he's just healthy, we won't regret this deal.
Oh, absolutely not
at all.
It's a Joel Embiid type deal where they give him a max, but he's only played 45 games over the last 3
right.
years?
His talent
Right.
is
So you're
just
gonna
so
hope
good.
you're hoping that
You're
he's gonna fulfill that, but
praying.
Yeah.
the potential is
It's there.
just like, oh my god.
It's too enticing is the issue.
It's kind of like when they draft him. It's like, what was I supposed to not give him the deal?
Yeah.
Yes,
You have to.
exactly.
You must give him
Well,
the deal.
most guys wouldn't even take it. They would just move on. But like super maxes are different, where like nobody else can offer this kind of money than New Orleans. But with the team that they have in place, and you add a guy like Zion Williamson at his best, I mean, you're
We have to take
Western
the chance.
Conference
We have to take the
championship
playoff run. Yeah.
level team.
We have to take the chance. And also the question about Kevin Durant. Now, I don't want to get rid of Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
The question is, if we get rid of picks, I'm actually okay with that personally. Just because
They would want more than that.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like who would you be willing to give up? I guess would be the question if Kevin Durant. Because I know a lot of people don't want Kevin Durant.
It would have to be a three team, maybe 4-team trade.
Yeah.
And we offload Jackson Hayes and
Herbert. He has a good variable, but
Devontae Graham,
I'm okay
and
with
you
that.
get rid of a couple of those guys. If you could get him without giving up Brandon Ingram,
Probably Dyson.
CJ.
I would give up Dyson Daniels for him, absolutely. But yeah, you don't want to give up CJ McCollum. You don't want to give up Brandon Ingram. You don't want to give up no Herb Jones, no Jose Alvarado, and you also don't want to give up who am I missing?
I can't say his name. Valanciunas?
No.
I'm okay with giving him up.
No, the other guy. There's another
Zion?
guy. No.
This is where you need Will.
God damn it. Yes, I've been drinking way too much. But yeah, there's a couple of guys that you don't want to even like touch to give up in that scenario.
I think we're in a winning position. I think Will, if he was sitting here, would totally he doesn't want KD.
Oh, he doesn't.
Yeah.
And I honestly,
I can see that too.
Honestly,
So I agree with that.
I don't either. I would say
You don't want him either.
Because
I don't want him either.
We'd win a championship.
What if
with
after
KD.
1 year he's like, trade me?
I want to go. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
tired of this, and I've already blown up your. So here's what I'm afraid of. You have a great chemistry right now. You have all guys that are bought in. You have a really good young coach. All that kind of stuff happening, and you add a guy like KD in the equation that is his own guy. He's very independent, and something goes wrong, and he blows up that roster internally. And then he wants to get traded out because he doesn't like it anymore.
It's a risk. It's just also his shooting ability. I mean, like it's a risk, but I mean, it's a risk. It's a risk. That's all I can say.
It's like people are like, oh, he makes you a championship contender. He won 2 championships. No, he didn't. He won them at Golden State.
Then you know what?
That ain't real.
I've seen Golden State is interested in having him back, and I'm like, what are we talking about?
Go back there with Gavin Newsom, pay all those taxes, Kevin. Get the listen. I'm gonna make a message here. I'm taking off the Whataburger.
Oh God,
Oh.
we may have to cut it
Ladies
short here,
watch out.
Charlie. Go ahead.
Mr. Griffin, Miss
Okay.
is it Gail Benson? It's not Rita.
Correct.
Yeah, it's not Rita LeBlanc.
No, it's Gail Benson.
Don't touch him, please. Let him go.
Okay, I
Well-
thought you were having a message to Gavin Newsom. I thought.
No, I was giving one
worried.
to-
for a
I was-
second.
I got stared. I was like, I don't know.
I was giving one to Miss Gail.
Okay.
Here's the thing about the Pelicans is you're in a spot to make New Orleans a much bigger basketball market.
Oh, for sure.
Playing well.
Absolutely.
If things go well,
It
really
is.
deep,
It is.
though.
Look at Golden State.
It is
Golden
like
State
ready
was
to
in-
explode if you can give it.
Golden State was in like the drawers of the NBA.
Yes.
Before you had Steve.
I mean, they were in
Kerr's-
fucking Oakland.
Right. Like, and how
We need the blender to be rocking.
exactly?
And it would be.
The
It will.
blender during those playoff games
Electric.
in New Orleans was
Yeah.
electric.
Yeah.
So if you've got this core, stick with it.
Yeah.
Those playoff games next year, if we get there and we're playing well, that shit's going to be the best we've seen since the Saints run.
I
in the
agree.
playoffs.
Fair.
I agree.
That's fair.
Nobody's going to have more fun than New Orleans.
New Orleans would be a blast. Yeah.
No, I agree with that.
You would have a great football atmosphere and what's it called, Celebration Square, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like a seamless transition from football season because they're actually gonna go undefeated and win the Super Bowl. Hot take. And then
Oh, sticker take.
Jameis Winston.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
Jameis Winston MVP.
Baker Mayfield second.
Oh,
I didn't say that.
Baker Mayfield to Carolina. I heard this today. I
What a
saw this
wild
today.
league of
Carolina is going to hold on to Sam Darnold, and Baker Mayfield
still has
and
mono.
Matt Corral. They have 3 quarterbacks that they're going to try to
triple option.
A three
quarterback
quarterback
system.
platoon system with Paul Dietzel calling the plays, running the wishbone.
the go team.
Yeah, the white team, the go team, and the
Chinese
no,
bandits.
you
can't say Chinese bandits
the
anymore.
AAPI bandits is what they're gonna call. Right, as I call them, the AARP bandits.
Okay.
All
right. We appreciate everybody tonight. Want to appreciate big shout out to our sponsors, Fred's Bar in Tigerland. We appreciate those guys. We got some new shirts coming pretty soon
I have
too.
a Fred's
The
question.
Moose.
Yes, you have a Fred's question.
How close are they to finishing that street?
Oh, that's not a Fred's question. That's
Not
a city
even close.
question.
Well, like
Not
because
even.
it's close to the
City.
No,
to
and
Fred.
it's a sore
Yeah.
subject. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are still going. The Fred, they've been a little slower because of the everybody's out.
Yeah.
But whenever August comes back in,
Oh,
it'll be
everybody's
hammered
rocking,
again.
yeah.
But people still made their way. They figured it out.
I did it to set up for the show that one time.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I was like,
And we got another show coming right before football season.
Excited
So,
for that.
so we appreciate those guys. Bank of England Mortgage is our sponsor for all of our audio podcasts. We appreciate them.
Shout out.
Check them out. Patrick Michelson's fantastic. Love that guy.
Okay.
And River City's Total Maintenance.
Oh, true. Love them as
Lucas Ragusa, he's busy as shit right now.
Does a hell of a lot of maintenance.
There is a lot of air conditioners that need work, and
Yeah,
he's in the
summer,
North Shore.
brutal.
He's been dealing with them all. So we appreciate Lucas. And yes, Bocock Brothers Cigars, cocky athlete of the week. We just posted that a couple of days ago. Kyrgios.
Makes Wimbledon really fun.
Nick Kyrgios
His
is
interviews are fantastic.
a lot of fun. He's actually he just won today, and Nadal won today, so he plays Nadal next in the semis. So
I hope
it'll be
just
good.
does not
Rafael
care.
Nadal dumps on
Did y'all see him?
You hate him, yeah.
Arguing with the
Yeah, I saw it, like,
referee
right at-
about the other.
So the other
hitting
guy
the-
hit it into the crowd
Almost hit a
and hit a
child
guy,
lady.
and he was saying like that should be an automatic default.
Yeah, sure.
And
Just
they
valid for
didn't
once,
do
yeah.
it. Yeah, they didn't do it.
That's because didn't he? Y'all know like his like controversy.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like he's probably like throwing him a bone. He's like, well, look, Nick, he didn't hit his girlfriend, so
Yeah, right.
he gets a mulligan.
Yeah, no. He's waiting for. I think after the tournament,
Yeah.
he's being arraigned in.
This is it's kind of like
Australia.
a Luke Heimlich situation.
Oh, not that bad.
Yeah.
Not that bad. Come on. Not even close.
He only hit his girlfriend.
Not even close.
Marcelo Zuna.
So all right. We appreciate them. Bocock Brothers Cigars. I'm gonna go have one right after this.
I love it.
So we won't have the audio podcast up until tomorrow. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy
You can
myself.
have an enjoying day.
Yeah, and let's see, Ounce of Hope. Appreciate Ounce of Hope. Ounceofhope.com.
Indeed.
Go check them out. They have a new Instagram. I think their old Instagram got deleted. They knew it was going to happen, but it got deleted. Now it's Ounce of Hope 901. So you gotta go check them out on Instagram. And it's those guys doing CBD and medical marijuana. They have to go through all of the hoops.
Oh yeah,
all of them.
They
Like
are the circus. Yeah.
it is legal, and they still have to go jump through all these fucking hoops. It's crazy. So anyway,
Legalize it.
absolutely. I mean, it's legal here. So like, what are we doing? Anyway, we appreciate everybody again. It has been Charlie behind the scenes. We appreciate you, Tater Tot over here, and we got Jude. And it's been One Team, One Podcast.
Logging out.
That away.